There's a moment, quiet, subtle, when a woman looks at you a little longer, stands a little closer, laughs a little softer. And in that moment, she's not just being polite, she's trying to tell you something her words never will. Most men miss it, but the ones who don't, they unlock a connection most never even realize was right in front of them. Let's talk about something that most men miss, not because they're blind, but because they haven't been taught to see. There's a language women speak that has no words. A glance, a smile, a lingering touch. And if you're not tuned into it, you'll walk right past your moment and never even know it was yours. You see, women are subtle. We don't always walk up and say, "Hey, I want you." That's not how most of us move, but we show it in ways so clear, so bold, and yet so effortlessly feminine that it takes a man who's paying attention to truly catch it. So let me say this plainly. If a woman starts adjusting her appearance in front of you, fixing her hair, smoothing her clothes, biting her lips slightly as she talks, that's not an accident. That's not nervous fidgeting. That's communication, silent, powerful, intentional. Because when a woman is in front of a man she desires, she becomes hyper aware of how she looks to him, not out of insecurity, but instinct. We want to be seen, and more than that, we want to be wanted. Pay attention to how her energy shifts when she's around you. Is she laughing a little too freely? Holding your gaze just a second longer than needed? Touching your arm lightly when she makes a point? That's not just friendly. That's flirting. That's chemistry. That's her saying, "I'm open to you." And maybe the boldest sign of all, she starts asking personal questions. Not just about what you do, but who you are, what you love, what you fear. She's creating emotional intimacy. And that's a space she doesn't let just anyone into. But here's the truth you must remember. Just because a woman wants you doesn't mean she'll chase you. Desire and pursuit are not the same thing. Most women won't come out and say it. We want to feel like we're being claimed, but not caged. Pursued, but not pressured. So if you notice these signs, don't ignore them. Don't second guess them to death. Lean into it. Test the waters. Match her energy. Make a move. But do it with presence, with confidence, with respect. Because when a woman does these things in front of you, she's already inviting you into her world. The only question left is, will you recognize the invitation? Will you answer it with the strength of a man who knows what he sees? Or will you let it pass and spend your night wondering what could have been? Because the truth is, women are always communicating. The real question is, are you listening? Let's talk about something that most men miss, not because they're blind, but because they haven't been taught to see. There's a certain way a woman carries herself when she's in the presence of a man she desires. It's not always loud or obvious. In fact, it's usually the opposite. It's subtle, soft, and incredibly powerful. Most men think that if a woman wants them, she'll say it outright. But that's rarely how it works. Women communicate interest in a language that isn't spoken, it's felt. It's expressed through body language, energy, microexpressions, and those little changes in behavior that you'll only notice if you're truly paying attention. When a woman starts adjusting her appearance in your presence, fixing her hair, smoothing her clothes, reapplying lip gloss when she thinks you're not looking, that's not a coincidence. It's not just about vanity. That's her preparing herself, subconsciously or consciously, to be seen by you. She's making sure everything is just right, because your gaze matters to her. Your attention means something. And that small act of self-dejection is her way of saying, "I care what you think of me." It's one of the oldest cues in attraction, and it still holds power today. But you won't see it if you're distracted by your phone or overthinking what you're going to say next. You have to observe. You have to be present. Look at the way her body shifts when she's talking to you. Is she leaning in just a little? Does she angle her body toward you, even in a group setting? Does her voice soften or become more playful when she addresses you? These cues matter. They reveal far more than the words she's speaking. Women know how to project interest without ever needing to say, "I like you," because we've learned that the strongest connections don't come from declarations. They come from energy, and energy doesn't lie. Now pay attention to her eyes. A woman's eyes can speak volumes. If she holds your gaze longer than normal, if her eyes dance while she smiles, if she looks at you and then away with a kind of shyness or playfulness, that's not just random behavior. That's vulnerability trying to surface. That's attraction wrapped in modesty. And the way she looks at you can often reveal more about how she feels than anything she could ever say aloud, especially when she's in a situation where expressing her emotions openly might feel too risky. And then there's her laugh. A woman laughing around you, not just politely, but freely, playfully, even uncontrollably, is one of the strongest signs of comfort and connection. When a woman laughs with you, she's letting her guard down, she's showing you her joy, her real personality, and her willingness to be in the moment. That laugh is a bridge, and if you listen carefully, it's inviting you across. But perhaps the most powerful indicator is when she becomes curious about who you really are. When she starts asking deeper questions, not just about what you do, but what drives you, what matters to you, what you believe in. That's her opening a space where emotional connection can be built. And she wouldn't do that if she didn't already feel something toward you. Women don't just open emotional doors for anyone. So when she invites you into that space, even casually, it's a sign of trust, a sign of potential, a signal that you're not just any man in the room, you're the man she's noticing. Let's talk about something that most men miss, not because they aren't smart or observant, but because no one ever taught them how to read the quiet language women speak when desire enters the room. A woman can want you deeply and never say a single word about it. She doesn't have to. Her body says it, her energy says it. Her every movement begins to communicate something that words could never fully capture. But if you're not paying attention, you'll walk right past her signals, thinking she's just being nice, just being polite, just being friendly. And in doing that, you'll miss the opportunity that was standing right in front of you. Women are emotional creatures, but we are also deeply intentional. We rarely do things without reason, especially when we're in the presence of a man we find attractive. So when you're around her and she starts fixing her hair, glancing at her reflection, adjusting her posture, that's not random behavior. That's instinct mixed with intention. She wants to look her best because you are there. She's presenting herself in a way that invites your gaze, that seeks your approval, even if she would never admit it out loud. This isn't about vanity, it's about attraction. It's a primal part of how we express interest. If she's doing it in front of you, it means she's aware of your presence. You matter in that moment. And she's letting you know through her actions. Now think about how she moves when she's talking to you. Her body will lean toward you, even if it's just slightly. Her shoulders might square off in your direction. Her feet might point toward you, almost without her realizing it. These small shifts are signs of alignment, literally and emotionally. She's making space for you in her world, even if it's just during that conversation. Her presence is no longer passive. It's engaged, it's focused, it's open. And when a woman opens up her body language like that, she's opening more than just her posture. She's opening the possibility of connection. Look at her eyes. A woman's eyes are the first place her feelings show up. If she holds eye contact, especially longer than expected, that's a massive indicator. If her pupils dilate, if her gaze lingers on your face, your lips, your hands, those are subconscious cues. She's scanning you not out of judgment, but out of interest. Her eyes are exploring what her heart is starting to feel. She might glance away quickly, then look back again. That push and pull of eye contact is a dance. It's nervous, it's playful, and it's incredibly revealing. But most importantly, it's deliberate. And then listen to her voice. Is it softer around you, more playful? Does she tease you gently or find little reasons to joke and laugh? Laughter is a bridge. When a woman laughs around you freely, when her laughter comes easy, that's her dropping her guard. That's her allowing herself to feel safe and comfortable in your presence. That comfort creates space for attraction to grow. It makes you more than just someone she's speaking to. You become someone she enjoys, someone she connects with, someone who feels good to be around. But there's more. If she starts asking you questions that go beyond surface level small talk, if she wants to know what drives you, what your dreams are, what your past has shaped in you, that's a major signal. Women don't ask those kinds of questions unless they see depth in you, unless they're drawn to you in a way that feels more meaningful than momentary. She's not just curious. She's invested. She's mentally walking into your world, seeing if there's room for her there. She's peeling back the layers, not just to understand you, but to see how you make her feel as she gets closer. A woman doesn't always show interest with loud gestures or dramatic declarations. In fact, when she truly wants you, her moves are much more intentional, much more layered, and often hidden in plain sight. She'll place herself where you are. She'll linger a little longer in the places you frequent. She'll find excuses to be around, to start conversations, to ask seemingly innocent questions that have a deeper purpose. It may look like coincidence, but it rarely is. When a woman keeps finding herself near you, bumping into you, or initiating conversations over things that could easily be solved without your help, what she's really doing is creating opportunities for closeness. There's something magnetic about genuine attraction. And for a woman, that attraction often leads her to create small moments that could turn into something bigger. She might not directly say, "I like you," but the time she spends around you says it loud enough. She wants to be in your presence because of how it makes her feel. She feels more alive, more noticed, more understood. That feeling draws her back again and again. And it's not by accident. It's by design. She's choosing proximity. She's choosing you. Now notice how she reacts when you speak. Does she light up when you enter the room? Does her tone change when she addresses you compared to others? When a woman wants you, there's often a softness in the way she looks at you, a different tone in how she responds. Her smile might come quicker, her laugh might linger, her compliments might be wrapped in playful sarcasm or direct praise. It's her way of making you feel good, of creating a dynamic that feels personal. She might even challenge you lightly just to see how you react, just to test if you're confident enough to hold your ground. These aren't just random moments, they are strategic touches of intimacy. Watch how she listens to you. Does she lean in when you speak, not just physically, but emotionally? Is she present in the conversation, genuinely engaged in what you're saying? When a woman is into you, she pays attention. Not out of obligation, but because she wants to understand how you think, what drives you, what makes you different. She remembers things you said weeks ago. She brings up details that even you might have forgotten. That memory, that attentiveness, is her subtle way of saying, "You matter to me." It's not just about flirting, it's about investing her emotional energy into you. Physical cues are just as telling. A slight touch on your arm during laughter, brushing past you when it's not necessary, adjusting her hair when she sees you looking, these are ways she engages your senses. She wants you to notice her body, but not in a way that screams for attention. It's more refined than that. It's about triggering your awareness, waking up your attraction, pulling you into a space where physical closeness becomes natural. She's not being aggressive. She's being deliberate. She's signaling availability without losing her grace. Even her silences speak. If she becomes quiet around you, especially when the mood shifts into something deeper or more personal, that silence isn't always awkwardness. Sometimes it's vulnerability. Sometimes it's her letting the space between you stretch, hoping you'll fill it with connection rather than noise. A woman who wants you often wants to be known, to be felt, to be seen, without always having to perform. She offers you pieces of her real self in those small, quiet moments, trusting that you'll know how to hold them without judgment. That level of authenticity doesn't come easily, and it's rarely offered to just anyone. There's something powerful about the way a woman opens up when she feels a genuine connection. It's not about what she says directly, but about how she chooses to let you into her world. When a woman starts sharing her personal stories with you, her childhood memories, her past relationships, her fears, her dreams, that's not casual conversation. That's trust unfolding in real time. She's revealing layers of herself that she doesn't show to just anyone. It's a slow unveiling of her heart, her mind, and her emotions, and it's one of the clearest signs that you matter to her in a way that goes beyond surface-level attraction. Many men miss this because they think interest always comes with compliment or flirty behavior or obvious seduction. But the truth is, when a woman shares her past with you, she's not just giving you information. She's giving you access. She's letting you see what shaped her, what broke her, what healed her, and what still lingers beneath her surface. And she only does that when she feels emotionally safe. When she sees the potential for something real. It's her way of saying, I trust you with this piece of me, even if she never says those exact words. And there's more. If she begins to talk about her future and you start showing up in those visions, it's one of the most intimate forms of expression. She might say things like, I've always wanted to travel to this place, and then look at you with that subtle spark, as if she's imagining you beside her. She might talk about how she sees herself building something meaningful one day, and her eyes will instinctively search yours for alignment. That's not accidental. That's her checking to see if you fit, if your energy matches her desires, if your presence feels like home instead of a detour. Listen to how she frames her sentences. The shift from I to we may be quiet, but it's powerful. A woman who wants you begins to think in terms of shared experiences, not just individual goals. And while she may never say directly that she wants a life with you, her language will begin to reflect it. It's not about rushing into anything. It's about imagining the possibility. When she lets you into that imaginative space, she's giving you more than a compliment. She's giving you a role in the storyline she's writing in her heart. Now watch how she responds when you share your emotions. If she softens, if she becomes still, if she listens without judgment, that's her way of holding space for you. Women don't hold space for men they don't care about. When she creates that emotional container, when she becomes a mirror for your feelings, she's telling you through her actions that you are safe here, that you can be more than just strong, you can also be seen. That level of emotional reciprocity is a language all its own. And if you miss it, you're missing something sacred. She'll also begin to notice things about you that others overlook. The way you touch your face when you're thinking, the exact tone of your voice when you're tired, the way you light up when you talk about something you love, These small observations aren't random. They're proof that she's watching you with intention, that she's emotionally attuned to your presence, and that her heart is already engaging with yours in the background, long before any official words are spoken. This is emotional intimacy in its rawest form, and it's one of the purest signs of a woman's desire. When a woman starts mirroring your behavior, it's not just a subconscious act, it's a deep psychological indicator of interest. She might cross her legs when you do, sip her drink right after you sip yours, or even match the tone and rhythm of your speech. These are not accidents. This is a reflection of connection, a subtle echo of your presence within her body language. Human beings naturally mirror those they feel drawn to. And for women, this response is often instinctive when they're around someone they're emotionally or physically attracted to. It's her way of harmonizing with your energy, of signaling that she feels comfortable enough to sync with you without forcing it. There's also something to be said about her availability. When a woman wants you, she finds time for you. She responds to your messages promptly, not out of obligation, but out of desire. She'll go out of her way to create moments of connection, staying up late just to talk, adjusting her schedule to see you, or reaching out during the day with little updates just to keep you close. She doesn't need to say, "I miss you," or "I want to see you." Her actions already say it. Availability is attention. Availability is interest. And when she prioritizes you in her busy life, she's showing you that you're not just an option, you're becoming a priority. Another strong cue is the way she reacts to other women around you. If she notices when other women talk to you, or if she becomes more expressive or present when you're around someone else, it's a sign that she's emotionally invested. She may not openly admit to feeling jealous or protective, but her behavior might shift. She might become more affectionate, more playful, or even more quiet, depending on her personality. These responses aren't about competition. They're about vulnerability. Because wanting someone often means risking rejection, and that emotional edge brings out subtle signs of protectiveness, even if they're unspoken. Pay attention to how she engages in physical space. When a woman wants you, she will often position herself closer to you than necessary. Her personal boundaries will shift. She might sit near you, walk beside you, stand close in a group, or lean in while talking. These aren't random choices. She's drawing herself into your orbit, creating chances for touch, eye contact, and presence. And it's not always overt. Sometimes it's just being within arm's reach. Sometimes it's brushing past you softly, allowing her hand to linger for just a second longer than needed. These are invitations, subtle but real. Conversation becomes a major clue as well. When she starts teasing you, giving you nicknames, or using playful sarcasm, she's trying to build rapport. This kind of light, humorous back and forth is a powerful way to create emotional chemistry. It's her way of saying, "I enjoy you, and I want to keep the energy alive between us." It might seem casual, but it's a form of flirtation that carries weight when it comes from a woman who's usually reserved or cautious with her attention. A playful interaction is a safe way to express attraction without putting everything on the line. Then there's the digital side of things. She watches your stories, she likes your posts quickly, she replies to your messages with thoughtful responses instead of dry texts. She might even drop hints online through memes, music, or indirect messages that only someone who's paying attention would catch. Social media becomes an extension of the space she shares with you. If she's engaging with you consistently there, it's not random scrolling, it's intentional connection. These behaviors aren't just isolated acts. They're threads being woven into something deeper. And if you start to pull those threads gently, you'll discover just how much she's been revealing without saying a word. So the next time you find yourself wondering if she's interested, don't just listen to her words. Watch her presence. Feel her energy. Notice the unspoken, because when a woman wants you, she doesn't always shout it. She shows it. And if you can read those signs, if you can meet her quiet confidence with clarity of your own, you won't just see her, you'll truly understand her.